Hi everybody, it's Joy Packard. How are you guys doing? Tonight it is already almost 10 o'clock. It's 9:53 p.m. on a Monday evening. Hope you all are doing well. We have a few of our grandkids, our older grandkids visiting this week, and so been just tending to them and getting through all this different stuff that we were doing. So I know many of us are either quarantined by choice or quarantined by what's out there and such. And so I just wanted to get on and I see a lot of the news and posts and things that people are posting, and it's just every now and then it's good for us to take a break from your news feed and from the news and just ground yourself. I talk so much about grounding yourself and meditation and doing those things. I just was in my keto group just a while ago sharing some thoughts about boosting your immune system and things like that. But as we are all going through this together, I just think about some things about what are some things that we can do. And it's interesting because I have caught up on my laundry, which I never do, and I'm able to, clean the closet and do more of my, catch up on my online business and my bills and things like that. And so it's interesting, it's almost like, those of you, I was in Houston when we had Hurricane Harvey, and during that time when your electricity goes off and when your internet goes off, and all of a sudden you have to turn to some things that are not electronics, and you have to adjust. And so during this period right now, we are adjusting, we are having to adjust. And so no, Jeff, we're just doing it voluntary. We're staying inside just voluntarily for now. And so just trying to help that bell curve. And so we had a little chat. My husband and I had this conversation, and then involved our son and our children, and said, I want you to, sit down and write down some things that you can do that are productive during this time. It's fine to watch movies and it's fine to play video games and it's, do these different things, but what are some things that we could do, during this time, and, to either, just keep ourselves busy, keep ourselves, our minds active. And, I some of the things that, I like to talk about that I'm doing are, of course, like staying healthy, trying to eat as healthy as you can. I know it's really hard, as you're inside, sometimes you feel, a little bit, claustrophobic, and you go for the food whenever you're not being active and such. And so, I run a keto group, and I just spoke to them over there about, the importance of, keeping yourself healthy as you can, choosing the right foods, and if possible, you can do some exercise. I do videos online, beachbody.com, even if it's 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, whatever you can get in, keep your body moving, keep your mind active. And so I know, Jeff, there's so much different things going on. So as we are in this, we want to keep our minds active. How can we do that? I have this violin that I've been trying to get to learn songs. And so music is great for me. So music, working on our health, working on our online business. Maybe some of you are into e-commerce or have an online business. If you don't have an online business, maybe you can look. I know there's a lot of free courses out there that you can look into, even just like on udemy.com. And there's so much stuff that I have to catch up on. And, so keeping your mind active, I even if it's just like picking something that you've been wanting to do, maybe it's making jewelry, maybe it's learning a new instrument, maybe it's learning photography. There's so many things. Maybe there's just a skill that now you have some time to do it as you are here inside and, spending time. So, if you write down some of these ideas, spending time with family, working on your business, working on that skill that you've been wanting to, writing those letters to your missionaries, writing your thoughts down, writing in your journal. There's so many things that we can do. And, you know, what a better time now than we have, you know, as we're not having to worry about our kids in school and getting them to early morning seminary, those who have that for church. And I don't know, you know, there's good and bad to all of this. And the good is that, you know, you're able to catch up on some of the things maybe that you have been wanting to get to. You know, I've been trying to clean my closet since we moved here into this home a couple of months ago, and I'm able to kind of work on it, spend time with the grandkids, you know, have meaningful conversations, you know, face to face, and playing board games instead of not always being on our phones and computers. And like I say, there's time and place for that. I love being on my phone for my business and everything, but, you know, just to fill your days, you know, with productive things that can help pass it by. You know, music is such a big deal in our family, and I've been trying to finish a song that I've been writing for years. And so I'm thinking that I might be able to get this done over the next 2 weeks, you know, just working on it a little bit every day. So I do this in my business as well, you know, where I write down, you know, the daily things that I have to do. And then, you know, I can do that with my life as we're doing that. Just like I'm mentioning to you, like maybe, you know, it's learning skills, and maybe it's learning, you know, if you're doing the keto diet, or if you're doing some sort of new journey that you're on, you'll have time to read about it, have time to participate in it. You know, maybe there's some challenges that are going on. I know that there's this personal development challenge in another group, and every day they're coming on, you know, and I don't know. I just think that if you take the time to like get a journal or get a composition book and start writing down some ideas on ways that you can use this time for the good, you know, I mean, there's things that you can do online, serving people, you know, virtually. There's plenty of websites, if you look them up, plenty of apps on your phone, you know, to do service to those who need it in times of need. Maybe it's to, you know, check on your friends and make sure they have enough toilet paper because they didn't have any at the stores, or whatever it is. You know, I just think that there's just some wonderful things that you can do during this time. And if we look at it that way, then it makes it a lot easier to get through, you know, instead of looking at it as something that is so miserable or whatever. And yes, there is the fear and anxiety that we see on the news, in our news feed and things like that. But several moments in your day, several moments in my day, what I do is step back and do like a 10 to 20 minute meditation. They're all over YouTube. You can find them. You know, maybe you have a meditation app that you can do, but just there's some for anxiety. There's some for sleep. There's some to give you energy. There's some to ground you, you know, to keep yourself, you know, not so anxious during this very difficult time for some people, you know. And I know that there's so many different things that are affected. Are some people's jobs, you know, some people have, you know, are traveling and can't get back, or some people have different things that are going on. And so make that list. I'm all about lists. I'm always talking about lists. And make those lists that you can, you know, refer to whenever you feel like, you know, the word boredom or I'm bored was never allowed when I was raising my kids when they were little. If they ever said that, they knew that I would give them something to where they would say they would never say that. And so that was kind of like a bad word in our house as I raised my kids, you know, to be bored. So to be bored, you know, there's no such thing, because there's so many things you can do. You know, you can go back to reading your physical books. You go back to doing whatever, you know, and spending time with your family, you know, and spending time doing your, like I say, your online business. I have an online business. Many of you do as well. And so there's some things that can be done. I'm super excited. You know, I have this, I had a trade show that I went to back in November, and I bought a bunch of these beads. They're tiger eye beads. And so if you buy them, you know, separately, it was just cheaper. And so my sister and her daughter are going to put together, you know, learn how to put together these beads. And, you know, this is a good time to do stuff like that, to learn how to do that. Maybe it's, like I say, a completely new skill. So, you know, what are some skills that you've been wanting to do? What are some things that you've been wanting to get to? Make that list, you know, so that you can get to it. So I have some kids in California, and, I have a son that's about to have a baby any day now. His wife is actually having contractions today. And so, there's just a lot of things. So that's where, prayer and meditation, keeping ourselves grounded, exercising, doing those things that we just talked about through this whole video. And so I hope this is inspiring you in some way to, write down your thoughts about how, you can best spend your time, and family being a big one, family, that kind of time, business, physical, spiritual, maybe there's different categories in your life, and you can just write it all down in your notebook and then just write maybe 2 or 3 things in that category that you've been wanting to improve upon. And so wouldn't that be cool? Like if there's a spiritual box and maybe there's like a physical box, you can say, okay, this is a time that I've been wanting to learn about my workouts and about my keto journey or whatever journey you're on, and so, and maybe for your business, there was something that you've been trying to get to. What is that? And it was a virtual thing. It was online. Or maybe it's a friend that you haven't called in a while, that you've been trying to connect with. There's just, if you think about it, I know there's 24 hours in a day, but usually 7 to 8 of those are sleeping. So you're left with how many now? So that's like what, 12, 20, I can't even count. There's 20, there's, how come I can't think right now? Anyway, you know what I'm saying. If you're sleeping for 8 hours, whatever's left over, you have to fill your time doing something. And so as we are going through this all together, in this world, trying to, make that bell curve slow down as far as everything goes and get things under control the best that we can, then, the situation is the way it is. And so as of now, that's where we are, and we have to just do the best that we can with what we have. And so I hope you all are doing well, wherever you are in the world. And I know that it can be scary at times, as we get on the news and, watch all these different things, but, ground yourself and, and just do the things that you need to do to, get yourself prepared, have your food that you need, and, have the things that you need as if you're not going to be able to leave. My daughter is in the Philippines on a mission, and so far, her part of the island is further, but I think Manila is on, mandatory quarantine now for, I think, a month is what I heard. My brother said his son is on mission in Manila. So, as we think about these things, and, our children are far away, some of them, and, all these different things going on in the world, we can do our part, and we can, like I say, do the things that we need to do to keep our minds active, ourselves active. Anyway, thanks for watching. It's so late. Thanks for being on here. I hope this has helped you in some way, given you some ideas. And I hope that you guys are staying safe, staying inside, and, doing the things that you need to do to make it through all the different things that we're going through as, in our world today. So take care. I'll talk to you guys very soon.